What is up, guys? Keith Jamison here with Fantasy Sports Insight to break down today's three-game FA Cup slate. Should be a fun slate, but a lot will be decided once lineups come out. I'm going to go over that soon. Before we get started, just want to give a huge shout out to my guy Zach, aka Keats. Took down a sports betting qualifier last night in NBA. Just absolutely love to see it, and be awesome to have FSI representing that final. So without any further ado, do we just want to jump into the games? So let's go over the odds real quick. Liverpool Chelsea is a square game. I think one of the biggest aspects will be what Liverpool does. As y'all know, I am a huge Liverpool fan. Whatever about the Watford game, I personally saw it coming. I know Klopp went ahead and said that he didn't see that coming, but if you've been watching a lot of the games, the team had just been struggling. So hopefully this is what they need to go into the second leg of the Madrid game and take that at Anfield. But big thing with Liverpool, and I mentioned this for Saturday's preview, is those forwards are always more GPP driven than cash. They don't cross anymore. Salah is a fairly high volume shooter, but Mane not so much. And Firmino is really there for link up play. He's going to show up with goals, but not ever going to be someone I'm going to be in cash. So my point being, whether they're in or not, I don't think they're a target today. Maybe for GPP, but you don't need them in cash. So whether they're in or not doesn't really affect me too much. It more affects what I'll do with Chelsea. So my gut feeling on Liverpool lineup is to do some version of Minamino, Origi, and then either you might see Oxlade up front or one of Mane or Salah. But I don't think you're going to see all three of the big guys in. So that's Liverpool. If you do see them out, and the likes of TAA out and the likes of Robertson out, and just a fairly rotated team, even if it is more senior players, I still think targeting Chelsea, who is very DFS friendly, could be a big option. The biggest favorite in the slate is Sheffield United, minus 156 to Reading, which is interesting. Sheffield, they're so-so for DFS. Fleck and Norwood. Stevens, Baldock, probably the only guys that we're really looking for in cash. But if you kind of want to do like a YOLO GPP for a Sharp or a McBurney, McGoldrick, or what's the let me try to get his name right, Musette or Mousse, however you say it. Sure, but probably not my style. Finally, West Brom, who is #1 in the championship and is an electrifying team to watch, hosting Newcastle. Pretty square game, but 133. I'll let you know that West Brom is the team I'm going to be targeting today, and you're going to hear a lot of their players. Very DFS friendly, very offensive driven. Our boy Bilic down there is just been a revelation for them. This is not the West Brom Tony Pulis team that you remember last time they were in the Premier League. They are very offensive inclined and really just tearing up the championship. So let's just go position by position, give you guys some ideas of what's going to happen. Once again, preview pod and preview video, a lot of stuff is going to change based on lineups, so make sure you check lineups that you're in. If you're an FSI subscriber, that you're in our Discord, so that you can see the lineups, who I think is in the cash pool, who's more GPP, who's on sets, all that good stuff. All right, so forward. Kind of already talked about, I'm not really on the Liverpool guys. Willian, if he is in, he did jump on sets as a sub. So I do think that is very viable. 9,100 is tough, but there's a decent chance you will have a good amount of value today. So very in play. Again, going by the Liverpool guys, Hudson-Odoi is not going to play. Abraham's not going to play. Origi is going to play. I think is a GPP only option. As one of the more expensive players on the slate. Minamino has been terrible since he has been to Liverpool. Probably because I mentioned how terrible he has been. Probably shows up the goal, but not in play for me. Callum Robinson would be close to a lock, but he is cup tied and will not be in the squad today. It'd be interesting to see for Chelsea who starts up front, if it's Batshuayi or if it's Giroud. Feels more likely that it's Batshuayi with Giroud starting, I think it's the last 3 games. GPP play. Pulisic not back yet. That would have been nice. Oxlade-Chamberlain. So just here's the thing: if you see a lineup that does not have Alexander-Arnold, does not have Robertson, and does not have Milner, Ox probably is on Liverpool sets, which at 6,800 makes him a solid cash forward play. If he's with Milner, at best it's a split. But if you don't see Milner, but let's say you see Robertson, that's probably a split as well. See none of them, it's probably all him. Charlie Austin, I see predicted leading the line for West Brom, would be likely on their PKs, and but is goal scoring only. So more GPP, but I've kind of seen some of the pool of players that sites have predicted to play, and you may have a second forward that you have to be more goal dependent. So Austin would be in play. Pedro, if in, I think is really solid. Almiron, a little expensive away to West Brom, but if you want kind of like a 6 to 7 point floor, you could do worse. Going through Krasicki, once again, he would be awesome if he was in, but he's cup tied, so we will not see him today. Edwards, if he starts for West Brom, nice young player, would be tough for me to pass on. I did miss a GPP up here. Puskas, I know I butchered that, but scores a lot of goals for Reading when he plays. I've seen him predicted in, and that would be interesting. So once again, because I'm obliged to when he starts, but Billy Sharp, he tore up the championship last season. I think he was second in goals, but this is a good flashback to the championship where he dominated for years. So at 5K, if he starts up front and we don't really have any other good floor forwards, I think he is well worth a look. All right, jump over to midfield. I think from just like a raw DFS floor perspective, Pereira from West Brom might be one of the best plays on the slate. Draws a ton of fouls, takes some sets, loves to shoot, plays up front in like a front 3, but he has a lot of freedom to kind of go in the middle and drift and just create. I think he's an awesome play. I've mentioned, I think it was last Saturday, but Newcastle home, Newcastle away, very different teams. This is Newcastle away, and even though it is to a championship side, it is a championship side that could actually do some damage next year in the Premier League too, if they stay together. So I really like that play. John Fleck, half the sets for Sheffield, the more attacking of the 2 set takers. 7,900 is steep for him, but probably has close to an 8 to 9 DK floor. Matt Phillips, if you see him in, loves to cross, would be on a share, if not all the West Brom set pieces, so in play. Mason Mount did take some sets over the weekend, split with Reece James. He would lose them, in my opinion, to Willian, but 7,200, if it's the weekend Liverpool side, is really solid for his play. John Swift on almost a monopoly set for Reading. Even though they are a big dog, he is a very DFS-friendly player, so I do like that look. Milner, if in, would probably have at least a set share for Liverpool. Definitely is on PKs. So at 6,700, you could do worse. I really need to look a little bit more on his match fitness. He hasn't played for a while, so I'm not sure if he'd be fit for 90 would be my big concern. Chris Brunt, if he was in, would be great, but he hasn't made the squad the last few games, so I don't expect to see him. Lazzaro, we have seen when he's been on the pitch for Newcastle, has been on a majority of sets. So if we see him and no Richie, I think that's in play. But if I see him with Richie, it's something kind of going to be a stay away from me. See if we got anybody else here that pops up. I know there's a couple down here. Oliver Norwood, 5,500, solid price. He is the more defensive of the two, like I mentioned, but split sets, takes a shot or two. 5,500, I don't think is bad. Krovinovic, I love for West Brom. Has been on at least half the sets lately. A creative midfielder. If this was a championship slate, we probably would see his price close to 7,500 to 8,000 based on his recent play. So 5,300 is a standout price. I forgot I'll click in. He's going to be a provisional core play for me. Over here at forward, sorry to go back, guys. But over here at forward, I'm going to provisionally put in Pedro or a few forward plays that actually has a floor. All right, let's get back down here to the 5,000 range. Let me just do a quick look through at the bottom. Sean Longstaff should be back in, but no Lazzaro and no Shelby and no Richie. He would be on sets, but that's a lot of no's to say. Adam Milan I expect to be in for Liverpool, but he is not a DFS option. And that should pretty much wrap up midfield. Let's jump over to defender. If TAA is in, you play TAA. I would be shocked if he's in, to be honest with you. Richie killed it on the weekend playing an advanced position. If he's in, despite me liking West Brom, he'd be a hard guy to pass on for me, especially if we did see him up in that front midfield 3 for Newcastle. But the guy I'm going to just tell you would be a lock, and it's amazing. I'm looking from like that 6,000, 6,500 is Reece James. Incredibly active crosser for Chelsea. Been on a share of set pieces. I honestly think his floor is in the double digits if we see a weekend Liverpool side. So he's also a very decent captain choice for Showdown. Gives you a lot of flexibility with that price. As far as other defenders go, Alonso's been sensational for Chelsea since getting back in the side. Again, weekend Liverpool side at 5,100 is a really nice play. Let's see. Elsewhere, the West would just mention Sheffield United wingbacks are always active and both have good shots at double digits. Dara O'Shea has been awesome as a right back for West Brom. 4,200 is a really nice price. Obida, if you see him, sometimes he's in an advanced position, has taken some corners for Reading, so you could do worse at 4,100. And that's probably about it. Of course, if you're newer to soccer, hopefully you're enjoying it, but keep in mind on DraftKings, fullbacks are what we want. We all want guys that cross the ball and get shots assisted that raises their floors. So, when in doubt, target wide guys on favorites. So that should do it for today for our FA Cup coverage. If you are interested in getting some more information, I have my free cheat sheet up on the website. I'll put a link in the details below, but fsidfs.com. That's also where you can subscribe to our premium coverage. That includes full diagrams of formations, notated who's on sets, who's in cash play, and who's more GPP, as well as an updated core for every soccer slate that DK and FanDuel have. Those coverages are as low as $3 a day for just soccer, $10 a week for just soccer, or if you want our VIP subscription, that includes NBA, NHL, what else do we have going on? PGA, tennis, EuroLeague, pretty much any sport we have coverage for it. You can get that for as low as $6 a day or $20 a week. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Please rate and review us on iTunes or whoever you are listening to us through. We absolutely love the reviews, and we will talk to you later. Take care, guys.